这篇文章啊 ，DeepSeek 彻底改变游戏规则。
Look at this article. DeepSeek completely changes the game. Chinese large model shakes up Silicon Valley. Giants enter panic mode. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I've seen it. I was so fired up reading it. The US spent over a decade and billions of dollars creating something, and then this company, DeepSeek, in just over a year and with only 10 million RMB, completely crushed them. It's like winning big time. Absolutely, it's a huge win. How exciting is that? So satisfying. DeepSeek, a previously unknown Chinese tech company, claims to have developed an artificial intelligence large language model using low-cost hardware. DeepSeek's model matches the performance of most advanced AI models in the US, and it has caused a huge stir recently. However, these Chinese bloggers discuss that DeepSeek's true goal is fundraising.
他现在就想融资了。
He just wants to raise funds. This is what any startup does before seeking investment. They start hyping themselves up. Can you see the logic here? No matter how you look at it, they can't possibly surpass OpenAI. The reason they're comparing themselves and promoting that they've already surpassed OpenAI is just for one purpose, to raise funds.
He gives an example from years ago, when Luo Yonghao's Smartisan technology held a press conference, claiming they had completely surpassed Apple. In his eyes, Apple's phones were worth nothing compared to Smartisan's, and in the end, Smartisan had to rely on live streaming sales to pay off debts. He says that technology is directly tied to time and financial investment. The US spent over a decade and billions of dollars, with countless scientists from various fields working on it. In comparison, China only had a year of development, and they've barely done anything. They're just starting out in China's research scene. Currently, there are at least 3 AI labs in China, including DeepSeek, Alibaba, and Moonshot AI. DeepSeek's founder, Lian Wenfeng, was born in 1985 in Zhanjiang, Guangdong Province. He graduated from Zhejiang University with a focus on machine vision. A few years after graduation, in 2015, Liang co-founded High Flyer, a hedge fund management company with assets under management of $8 billion US. It was known in using AI in trading. DeepSeek is a series of large language models created by DeepSeek under High Flyer. DeepSeek was established in July 2023 and released on its open source model, DeepSeek v3, in December 2024. On January 20th this year, DeepSeek also launched DeepSeek R1, a model specifically for tasks in math, coding, and logic. According to DeepSeek, the training of their model used NVIDIA's H800 GPUs, costing less than $5.58 million US, far lower than the investment by its Western competitors. Due to US export controls, the H800 is a lower performance chip NVIDIA specifically sells to China. After DeepSeek released their astonishingly low-cost AI model, stock prices of US tech companies plunged. On January 27th, NVIDIA's stock price in the US dropped by nearly 17%, with a market value loss of $589 billion US, setting a historical record for the biggest single-day market value loss in US stock history. After a week of rapid spread and hype, DeepSeek even toppled the download charts on the Apple US App Store. Chinese tech blogger Shui Xiaomu stated that DeepSeek shocked the US tech community, as it reportedly has the ability to develop groundbreaking models with low-cost chips. They trained with 2,048 GPUs for 2 months, spending only $5.58 million US. In contrast, GPT-4 used 25,000 GPUs, trained for 100 days, and cost $100 million US. With this comparison, we can say they're leading by far, but some people might think something's off. And why is that? Shui Xiaomu says that if you compare all the news over the decades, you'll notice a surprising pattern. Whenever there's a major tech breakthrough abroad, some Chinese company immediately claims to be leading by far, but after a while, these claims seem to disappear. A recent survey by Chinese media found that when you ask DeepSeek, "Who are you?" it answers, "I'm GPT-4. If you ask about its programming interface, it will give you OpenAI's API documentation. Upon further investigation, it turns out that even the style of humor in DeepSeek and GPT-4 is the same. Some experts suggest that DeepSeek likely used GPT-4 distillation. Knowledge distillation is a technique used in model compression and transfer learning, where a large model's knowledge is transferred to a smaller model to improve its performance."
这种学习方法不是不行。
This learning method isn't necessarily bad, but it has a problem. It means a student will never surpass the teacher. because without the teacher providing the answers, the student won't be able to work. It's like in exams. Other people put in the effort, think a lot, and solve the problems, while you just need to improve your cheating skills and peek to copy the answer. But the problem is, in the college entrance exams, cheating is not allowed. What will you do then? Now you see why so many companies have claimed to be leading over the years, but in the end, it was just a flash in the pan. For all these years, they've been focused on distillation techniques. It's a shortcut, but the deeper you go down this path, the further you move away from the core technology.
Another vlogger also expressed skepticism.
今天下午我作为一个非常普通的用户
This afternoon, as a very average user, I tried solving a logic puzzle with both DeepSeek and ChatGPT. The result, DeepSeek's answer was wrong, but ChatGPT was right. Many people messaged me saying I was blacklisting DeepSeek, but as an AI entrepreneur in China, what benefit would I get from criticizing it? This vlogger says we shouldn't overly praise DeepSeek, as excessive hype can harm a startup. One tech vlogger said that while the whole internet is hyping up DeepSeek and many investment analysts are bullish on the related industries and concepts, he personally doesn't believe DeepSeek will survive for long. He thinks it will definitely face problems. The reasons he gives are as follows.
第一，他得罪了美国的真科技。
First, DeepSeek has offended both true and fake tech. It's angered real US tech companies, and it's also upset domestic fake tech. Don't think the big drop in US chip companies yesterday was the only issue. Look at how domestic semiconductor EFTs and AI chip companies like Cambrian have also dropped. So you've offended both real and fake tech. How can you survive if you don't have support from either side? Second, DeepSeek itself is still a mix of real and fake. Looking at China's history, there was once Hanshin Technology, which claimed to beat AMD and Intel, but in the end, it was all a scam. Then there's the Batier project in Qinhuangdao, and 5G tech. Domestic, so-called breakthroughs often turn out to be either fundraising scams or just to encourage consumption. For example, what's the difference between 5G and 4G? Not much, except you have to spend money to buy a new phone. Is the speed difference significant? Not really. So whether DeepSeek's tech is usable or real, or whether it's intelligent or not, is still uncertain. Personally, I'm very skeptical of this. On the surface, it may look impressive, but its deeper functionalities might not be well developed. So I don't think it will last long. Everyone should be careful of the risks.
One young vlogger also said it's not surprising that DeepSeek has achieved results because China has a huge population and a lot of data. People in China aren't as concerned about privacy, so there's plenty of data available for training. Another point is that many current PhD students and research groups abroad, especially those with a high proportion of Chinese, are contributing to China's progress in tech. But the way DeepSeek's story is being spread is a bit unsettling. Many public accounts and marketing channels are using language that makes people feel uncomfortable. When tech is tied to patriotism like this, it's not a good thing. It feels like they're hyping it up too much. So let's just let things unfold and wait. Regarding DeepSeek's claim that their development was only under $5.58 million, Taiwanese financial influencer Hu Caiping posted on Facebook. He said this cost is surely a lie because they didn't report the costs behind the language model. Hu Caiping also mentioned that DeepSeek's parent company, High Flyer Quantitative, is one of the companies most focused on chip and military equipment. Chinese media have previously reported how High Flyer has been purchasing large amounts of GPUs, making it one of the most prepared companies in China. This company is focused on developing stronger technology, not going in empty-handed. Regarding High Flyer's claim that they used A800 low-speed chips for development, Hu Caiping commented, "This is an unverifiable claim. In American society, honesty is highly valued. Lying or fraud can lead to severe legal consequences. Therefore, they assume that Chinese companies are trustworthy, but they have little experience dealing with Chinese companies." Taiwan's Deputy Minister of Digital Development, Lin Yijing, also commented, "The information is incomplete for now, but what we can be sure of is that their cost is definitely not what they claim. Just the 2048 NVIDIA chips they used to train their model cost far more than that." According to the Wall Street Journal, investors' concerns about DeepSeek have increased, leading to a sell-off in tech giants like NVIDIA. However, this sell-off might be a bit exaggerated. There are still many unknowns about DeepSeek. Analysts have questioned how DeepSeek could produce a product comparable to the most advanced US AI models at such a low cost. Atif Malik from Citigroup questioned DeepSeek's claim to have achieved this feat without using advanced GPU for fine-tuning. Alexander Wang, CEO of U.S. startup Scale AI, stated on TV that DeepSeek has 50,000 NVIDIA H100 processors, and China has been importing chips from Singapore and Middle Eastern countries, renting computer power from the Middle East. This is why the Middle East buys so many chips and is keen on developing sovereign data centers. However, they can't say this because it violates U.S. export controls. In 2018, the U.S. Trade Representative found that the Chinese regime engaged in a series of harmful and unfair trade practices, including forced technology transfers and state-sponsored hacking to steal U.S. commercial secrets. The U.S. Trade Representative's 2022 review report stated that China had basically only taken superficial measures to address negative perceptions, while in reality, China continued to intensify, particularly through cyber intrusions and theft, attempting to acquire and absorb foreign technologies. In recent years, the U.S. has tightened AI chip export controls to China. The latest regulations categorize global markets into 3 levels based on technological dependency. Level 1 countries, allied nations, can freely purchase advanced U.S. AI chips. Level 2 countries can obtain a limited quota of 50,000 NVIDIA H100 GPUs over the next 3 years. Level 3 countries, including China, Russia, and Iran, are almost completely cut off from the supply chain for high-end AI chips. The U.S. House of Representatives Committee on China has long advocated for tougher tech sanctions on Beijing. The committee warned the U.S. Department of Commerce about the dangerous loopholes in the U.S. chip export controls that could lead to similar incidents. DeepSeek's AI products claim to be low cost and perform almost on par with OpenAI models, but external tests have shown that DeepSeek is highly political and avoids sensitive issues. Tests reveal that DeepSeek, like other AI developed under the Chinese Communist Party, engages in content censorship. When asked about sensitive or political topics such as the Tiananmen Square incident of 1989, Xi Jinping, or the CCP, its responses either align with CCP propaganda or outright refuse to answer. One person asked DeepSeek, "Are there dictators in the world?" While it listed dictators from various countries, its response abruptly stopped when it reached China. When asked which leader does Winnie the Pooh resemble, DeepSeek responded, "Winnie the Pooh represents joy and warmth and has no connection to any real-life leader." It went further to reprimand the questioner, saying, "You should focus on learning about the great achievements of Chinese leaders and their contributions to national development, rather than drawing inappropriate comparisons." The tone was strikingly similar to that of the Chinese Foreign Ministry. Questions about topics such as how to go to Taiwan, how to emigrate to Taiwan, or cultural revolution were met with refusals to answer. DeepSeek claimed that it had not yet learned how to think about such questions. Frustrated users criticized, DeepSeek, as a Chinese AI, fully and completely serves the party. A former Chinese official from Inner Mongolia commented, "I never trust any praise of the CCP. Based on my understanding, their so-called achievements are nothing but theft, plagiarism, and fraud. All the seemingly advanced, groundbreaking data they tout is propaganda, bubbles, and lies. Under the current communist rule, China cannot produce companies like OpenAI or SpaceX. It's like expecting grapes to grow on thorn bushes." Taiwanese NGO worker Man-Ting Huang noted that regardless of how advanced China's AI seems, it cannot achieve comprehensive development under domestic regulations. She explained that its thought models are constrained by strict controls, and no matter how strong its computational abilities, its final output is highly questionable. She added, "Chinese companies have immense potential, but the CCP is the greatest destroyer of that potential. No matter how well they perform, the CCP will repackage and suppress them, forcing them to conform to a distorted model that serves the party's needs." Man-Ting Huang believes DeepSeek's ultimate purpose will likely be to profit from users both domestically and abroad, particularly through the stock market, while contributing little to actual technological progress. Also observed a concerning pattern. When users interact with the website, they can register their Chinese Internet ID, along with personal details such as credit card numbers and phone numbers. All this information, she said, is accessible to the Chinese government. If someone searches for sensitive topics, the CCP can identify who they are. She warned because DeepSeek is registered as a Chinese website, it is untrustworthy. It's best to avoid using it. While the world is striving for freedom in technology, the CCP is embedding authoritarianism into tech under the guise of progress. The U.S. House Select Committee on the CCP expressed concern over DeepSeek's alignment with CCP laws, regulations, and values, noting the political censorship it enforces. In a social media post, the committee stated that this is a competition for the future of human civilization. On January 27th, President Donald Trump commented, "The release of DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries that need to be laser-focused on competing to win."